Well, definitely going to need a battery for starters. Just after 6 a.m. I'm going to get this battery put in the back of the truck. I think the shop opens at 7 or so. Got a couple loads of manure hauled out. Going to try to get some of that cleaned up for now. Wonder where Sandy's old Ford is. Pretty sure she still has it, but I haven't seen it anywhere around. Yeah, we'll get a little more manure cleaned out of here, and we're just throwing it on the on this grass field out here. Basically free fertilizer, so why not? This thing really doesn't like going in gear very good. Clutch slips a little bit. It's getting the job done, but definitely seen better days. Yeah, she looks pretty full to me. Come on. Come on, get in gear. There we go. Smell of fresh manure on a brisk April morning. That looks pretty good right there. I don't know if Andy's going to be coming today to feed or not, so get this old 730 fired up. Get a little hay from up in the barn or out of the shop, I mean. Get these cows fed before we head down to the shop. Turn this on. Not sure how many bales will actually fit in this mixer. We actually had a bigger one back in the day. It was still kind of a pain throwing everything in by hand. Somebody did a terrific job of stacking. Or not. Not really. That ought to do for now, I would think. I mean, if they go through this really fast, we'll just feed them again. I mean, we'll be around all day, so. Oh yeah, they're excited for some food. They must have been hungry. Out of everything on this farm, honestly, the parlor is still in awesome shape. Milking parlor. Milk house here. But the milking parlor's looking pretty good, honestly. Bunch of happy cows. Well, it's about 10 of. We'll get heading down to the store, get this battery exchanged, get a new strong box for the 3020, and then we'll see, see if we can't get that thing to fire up. Yeah, the part shop is right next to the dealership. Just the next driveway over. I mean, actually, the parking lot's all connected. But same name. I mean, it's really the same, owned by the same people. Go in and get this battery. Good grief. $245 for a John Deere strong box battery. I don't know. Sandy gave me the farm credit card. And holy smokes, I'm going to have to be careful with the price of parts nowadays. But let's get back, get the battery in, see what we can't do. So, we've got power. Definitely needed a battery. But I am not getting the starter to engage. Not sure what's going on here. I wonder if they parked it on this hill because the starter quit working. I'm going to have to check it out here. I'll try to get this thing to pop start maybe. I don't know. It's been sitting a long time. I'll get the fuel lines bled out best I can first, and we'll try to get this thing pop started. Well, we got her running. I couldn't really get a whole lot of speed till I got across the driveway here and thought I'd go down the old path. Glad I got it started because it starts to level off down here. Get this up in the shop and maybe get it cleaned off first while it's still running. Get it in the shop, and probably going to have to run back and get a starter for this thing. Starter or solenoid at the least. We'll see. She honestly doesn't clean up too bad. What do you know? Get her pulled in here. Probably try to jump that solenoid and see if we need a whole starter or not. Oh, I hate to shut it off, but we'll get it figured out. Well, I suspected as much. We're going to have to get a whole starter for this thing. I don't know if there's a core or not, but, you know, I really got to get going on this, so probably going to head down to the shop again and get a starter, get it put in, and hopefully that's all this tractor's going to need for a little bit. We'll get an oil change done, filters, you know, I'll get that while I'm there, and hopefully got one more decent working tractor running on the farm here. Well, we got the parts we needed, filter, enough oil to do an oil change on the 3020. They're actually going to deliver us in a couple of days a 55-gallon drum of oil, just so we can take care of some more oil changes and whatnot up on the farm. I just want to stop and take a look at one of these skid steers. Would be so nice up on the farm. That 710 needs retired in a pretty bad way. I don't know, I like this little John Deere. Take a look at this.
Can I help you with anything?
Hey, how's it going? No, I just came down here for some parts and thought I'd look through some of the used equipment here.
I gotcha. Where are you from?
Actually from here. Just moved back after about a decade being gone. Working up at Sandy and Bruce's old farm across town.
Oh, yeah. Sold a 4955 to Bruce a few years back. Don't really know how much he was able to use it. I heard the farm was in quite disrepair.
I don't know if I'd quite say that, but it definitely has seen better days. I used to work back there when I was a kid, and it used to be quite the milking operation. I'm hoping with my help, we can get things back to the way they used to be. Is Denny still working here?
I actually took over for Denny about 9 years ago, after he retired.
Ah, I see.
Well, I doubt that Sandy would have much of a line of credit here anymore with the state that her farm's in. But if I can help you guys out any way I can, no, I definitely will.
Hey man, I appreciate that. What's your name, by the way?
My name's Tony. Most people just call me an ass. Hey, I just don't like to put up with anybody's drama.
Hey man, I can respect that. Sandy actually brought me back to the farm to help manage things. And so how would I go about, you know, actually seeing how much of a line of credit we could get, even if it was small? You know, if we were to need any, you know, new, used equipment.
We actually offer leases on brand new equipment. I don't know if that's anything you'd be interested in.
Honestly, probably not. Maybe, but if anything, we're probably just going to be looking at implements and probably more in the used market.
Well, we do offer financing right here at the dealership. We're very competitive with our interest rates. Even compared to the local credit union, you know, we'll definitely compete.
That's good to know. My name's Red, by the way. I appreciate the information, and I'm sure we'll be talking again sometime soon. I bet I'll be down here grabbing parts pretty often here. I better grab my parts and get back to the farm.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Red. And you have a good day, sir.
Yeah, likewise. You too, Tony. Nice to meet you. Well, Tony seemed like a pretty nice guy. Sure we'll be talking to him pretty soon. Definitely going to be coming down here for parts pretty often, I'm sure, for a while. And, who knows? Hopefully we're going to be upgrading some equipment here real soon. We want to get this farm turned around. We're definitely going to need to. So, let's get this back, get the starter in the 3020. Probably go in, have a chat with Sandy. And, yeah. Get some more spreading done. Be nice to get most of that manure pile cleaned up. Well, she fires right up. She purrs like a kitten. Oil's all changed. Yeah, this thing is ready to go. Probably going to hook her up to the manure spreader, give the 4320 a little break, and just put her through her paces a little bit. Make sure everything's up to snuff. I'm sure it is. We'll let that run for just a little bit. I'm going to go make myself a sandwich real quick. See how Sandy's doing. Yeah, she's sitting out here on the front porch.
Hey, Red. Are you getting settled in?
Yeah, I sure am. Forgot how big this house really is on the inside. It hasn't changed a bit.
Well, you know, some things change, and some things stay the same.
Yeah, I hear you. But hey, Sandy, I've had a pretty good chance to take a look at the tractors and equipment around here. And, be honest, things aren't looking the best. Most of the stuff is the same things we were running 20 years ago. And even though some things still look pretty good, some things look like they're barely hanging on by a thread.
Oh, I know. For the last 4 to 5 years, Bruce could hardly spend any time on his feet without assistance. So a lot of the tractors and stuff didn't get the much needed maintenance and repairs that they deserved.
And, I mean, I don't mean to sound like I'm judging, because I'm really not. It just looks like if we don't get some things replaced around here, there might not be enough equipment to keep this place running. I do see the 55 series John Deere up in the shop. It's quite a bit of tractor, to be honest, for the implements we got around here. If we did a few upgrades with some bigger implements, we could definitely get some field work done more efficiently.
I know you're not judging. And yes, Bruce bought that John Deere about 8 years ago because we were going to be expanding, trying to get our field work done a little more efficiently, and we were going to get the barn as full as we could. You know, maybe 80 to 90 milkers.
I don't know about all that. I mean, I remember when there was 70 or so in there, but that's pretty much the limits, if I remember right. But if we're going to turn this place around, honestly, we need to spend some money and upgrade some equipment.
Whoa, slow down. We need to go over some financials before you get any big ideas of new equipment. This farm has barely kept the lights on for the past 4 years.
No, you're totally right, Sandy. Why don't we take a look at the books and fill me in, and we'll see what we're working with. Wow. I had no idea things had gotten that bad. I'll do my best to keep things working the best I can, you know, what we have at the moment. So I'll get started on some maintenance here today, getting things cleaned up, and we'll just go from there.
I hope you don't get discouraged by what we just talked about. I would love to see this farm back to where it was 20 years ago, if not better. I just think that we need to do it strategically and carefully so we don't get in over our heads, which is really easy to do with the price of things nowadays.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. And just so you know, I won't be making any big financial decisions without talking to you first. You're still in charge. This is still your farm, of course. So, just wanted you to know that. But I suppose I better get out there and get after it. I'll talk to you later, Sandy. Whew. Well, Sandy sure gave me quite a bit to think about. I didn't realize, the financial strains that this place was really under. But I'm not giving up. We're going to figure this out. It's just going to be a little more difficult than I thought. And I left this running the whole dang time. I guess not too big a deal. Maybe waste a little bit of fuel, but hey, it ran the whole time and didn't quit. So that's a good thing. We'll get this hooked up to the manure spreader. Probably bring the 4320 up in here. That thing could use a good cleaning and oil change. Looks like the cows are still eating. They still got some hay, so that's good. We'll try to get this field finished anyways. Yeah, we'll get this pulled up. I'm going to clean it off before I get it pulled into the shop. Always wash from the top down. Yeah, we'll get this pulled in the first bay. I'll just shut her off for now. I can always do this in the dark. Or, later, once it starts getting dark, I can put her on this thing a little bit. Let's get some actual work done around the farm while it's light out. Gotta make hay while the sun's shining. We're not making hay yet, but we will be. We need to be ready. Come on. Get into gear. Boy, this thing's frustrating. Get one more scoop in the back and that'll be enough for a load. At least try out the 3020, see how she's going to run this thing. Should run it just fine. Used to back in the day, so. You can really feel that clutch slipping on this little hill when you got a full bucket. Sure does look pretty. Really only got a couple of passes left here in the middle of the field. Seems to be running it just fine. Oh, yeah. Used to run the old feed mixer with this. Not the one that's on the 730 right now. Had a bigger one, actually. I'm not sure why they downsized so much. But this was kind of the general purpose or all-purpose tractor. Used to get a lot of odd jobs done with the 3020. Just gonna leave this here for right now. Definitely gonna work. Check on the cows again real quick, and it's almost dinner time. Yeah, they're still eating away. Andy did show up this morning for a little bit. He got some milking done. It's one thing Sandy still loves doing. She'll get out here and probably do most of the evening milking. I'm going to get to work on the 4320 here after dinner. So I'm thinking in a couple more days, we're going to have to get some corn in the ground. There's some, there's a little bit of cover crop down in the far field here on the end, straight down. And we're probably going to get it turned over and get some corn in. Maybe even tomorrow. I don't know. We'll have to see how the planter's looking. Cultivator should be fine, but I guess we'll see. Everything's going to be full of surprises, I suppose, so I don't know. Gonna catch some dinner here.